Good evening. I am Cadet First Lieutenant Daniel Burke, and we are going to be learning how to roll an encampment standard sock. So starting off, we are going to place the socks with the heels and the bottom of the sock facing up as such. You're going to roll the heels slightly over as such, and you're going to place the socks on top of each other. You're going to turn those around. You're going to offset one of the ends of the sock as such right here. You're going to kind of pull that out. You're going to either have your partner hold this end of the sock or put it in a drawer or under something heavy. Right now I don't have a partner, so I'm going to be using this chest right here. And you're going to pull the sock. You're going to start rolling this top sock first until you get a little bit of a roll going on this sock. And then you're going to incorporate that bottom sock. And you're going to start rolling. You're going to want to make sure that you're keeping the ends a little bit tighter so that way it doesn't come back to bite you in the end. And you have ends in the middle of your sock being very pointy and then the rest of the sock being flat. So you're just keeping the sock very tight, you're rolling tight, making sure you're trying to eliminate any bumps in the sock. Once you get to the heel, you're going to try and flatten that out a little bit. So we're getting to the end of the sock here, rolling in. You're always trying to make sure you're making small adjustments to the sock as you go along. Once you get to the end of the sock that you have either with your partner holding or under something heavy, you're going to disengage from that. You're going to start making small adjustments to it. You might, some people like to put it against the ground, roll it like this, or just kind of take your fingers, get the ends of the sock like that. Pull that last part of the sock real tight. You're going to take this outer sock right here. You're going to put your fingers in it. And you're going to roll it over the rest of the sock. Pretty nice little collar. Another small detail is you want to make sure you don't have any AP cords, bomb cords, whatever you want to call them, little tufts of cloth from the sock, so it makes it look nicer. You might want to take take some scissors to those, cut those off. So if you see this arc right here, you're going to want to make sure that arc is even. So mine's a little uneven right now, so I'm just going to make a little adjustment here, and yeah, so it's mostly even right here. It's a nice tight arc. We look at the oval right here, and it's a nice even oval. The sock itself is hard, it's firm. So this is an encampment standard sock. That's how you roll an encampment standard sock. Moving on to the shirt. It's chest out of the way. Bring the shirt into view. Start rolling your shirt. First thing you do is you're going to create a collar at the bottom of the shirt. In order to do that, it's going to be about a 2-inch collar. You're just going to roll that shirt up. Try and make sure there aren't many wrinkles in the shirt at the bottom of this collar here. I've got my 18-inch ruler here. Just kind of measure it, make sure it's 2 inches roughly. Doesn't even have to be necessarily that exact to be 2 inches. If it's 2 1/4, if it's 1 3/4, that's also pretty good. But just make sure it's pretty even all the way through. Alright, just going to kind of lengthen it over here. And then the bottom of this collar is good. I'm going to check the top. It might be a little bit long here on my right side. Alright, we'll shorten that a little bit here. Alright, so now that the collar is made, one thing to note is that the end result of this shirt is going to have to be 10 inches long. I was rolling a previous shirt before and it was a large, and it came out to be a little bit more than 10 inches, and that usually happens with shirts that are largest or extra largest. Medium is a really good size of a shirt to roll, so you might want to consider using that for your shirt that you are rolling. So now that we have the collar, we're just going to fold in along that middle line. We're going to fold that back, fold again on this side, and then fold that as such. And now, try and get as many creases and wrinkles as you can out if they're kind of permanent wrinkles and creases. If they're just kind of, there we go. Now you want to check, you want it to be 10 inches right now. So right now it's at about 9.5. So I'm just going to kind of, they're overlapping a tad, so I'm going to bring that back a little bit so that I get that 10 inches that I want. So now I'll check again. All right, getting a little closer to that 10 inches. All right, so now you're going to start rolling. This is almost imperative that you have a partner. Again, I do not have a partner right now, but what you're going to do is you're going to place the 18-inch ruler here. You're going to roll it once and then twice. Very important you do this. And then usually you can either hold it like this, you can put your knees on it if you really want to put a lot of pressure on it. Here, I'm going to have to be using the same chest that I've been using for the socks. All right. So now, you're just going to start rolling. It's very important you keep the shirt's form as you're rolling. See, my chest isn't heavy enough. All right. So because of this, I probably won't be able to pull as tight. So it might be a little bit larger than I would want it to be. It might be a little, might not be as firm as I would want this this shirt to be. Hopefully, we'll see how it turns out. So you're going to keep rolling, making those small adjustments. The principle in behind socks and shirts are very similar. You are creating a collar for it. You're rolling it to make sure it's nice and hard, nice and firm as an end product. You want it to be a specific length. So as we're rolling this, just making those small adjustments. And then again, as with the sock, once you get to the end of where either your partner is or wherever the heavy object you're using, you're going to disengage from that. So move this chest away. And then you have this. And continue rolling until you get to the end of that. And once that happens, you're going to completely disengage this ruler. And then roll that to the end. All right, now is a good time to take a look at what we got. So now we have our collar right here. You can see this collar. We have our shirt. There's nothing pointy sticking out here. It's all pretty much evenly contained within the rolled shirt. So this is a pretty good prospect for an encampment standard shirt if you're looking at this. One thing is this might not be 10 inches. I'm going to take a look at this. Nope, perfectly 10 inches. So that's good right there. And then so you're going to take this collar and you're going to take it and move it up and over the shirt. You probably won't be able to do it in one motion. You need to do a few small motions, pulling it up to get the product you desire. You're going to want to make sure the shirt's even, the collar is even across right here. It's in a straight line. It's not moving all over the place there. And you want to make sure that this is pulled up. It's important to realize the difference between a mistake that can't be fixed in the after rolling process and these small adjustments I'm making, and a mistake that can be fixed rather. So something like, say this isn't even, or maybe even the shirt's a little bit too long or a little bit too short. That's something that can be fixed by stretching it or making it compact a little bit. But maybe something like your collar is too short. That's something that you would need to go back and completely re-roll it. In this case, I have a firm shirt. It is 10 inches long. You can always tuck some of this excess material in right here. The collar is even across the shirt. This is an encampment standard shirt. "10 inches exactly." All right, with that, that is how you roll an encampment standard shirt and sock. Thank you very much for your time.